Hi, this is Dana, and on this channel I speak about spiritual warfare. I have another channel on astrology and a Facebook page on prophetic writings, which you find in the description box below. Of course, the usual caveat, there are some lowlifes, individuals who impersonate me, steal my identity, try to copy me. They call themselves doppelgangers, copycats. I would actually emphasize they attempt to copy me. I don't believe that anyone who reads energy can confuse me with them, just to be clear. But in any case, they conduct a lot of illegal activity for many years, criminal activity, and they are under investigation because I have been fighting for a long time, specifically in order to bring them to 3D justice. And I have been gathering enough proof, enough evidence. So I already have a number of files opened at the law enforcement office on them. And now I advise you to avoid them, of course, because they only aim to do harm on people. And this is something that actually is related to the topic which I will be discussing in this video with God's guidance. Namely, God has guided me to share with you and discuss a specific part of the spiritual fighting, and particularly the one related to affirmations. And there's one thing which is part of my ritual of spiritual fighting, namely, every time, as you become aware of your energy and of the attacks being carried out at you, you will start noticing when energy is being harvested, when certain attacks are done on you. And if you insist on going on that path on healing your own energy, but also spiritual fighting, you will gradually increase your energy awareness, and you will increase your ability to read energy. So you will start distinguishing between different type of attacks. And hopefully you will develop even your own information, knowledge of how to fight certain type of attacks. And I'm pretty sure you will find in your ancestral team support in order to develop that. So you yourself can be able to share with others information, new information, Now, one thing that I started doing in the initial phase of my spiritual fighting, when I was under attack, of course, you defend yourself, and you defend yourself in many ways. One way is to cleanse your energy from the attack, another way to claim justice, judgment, and punishment, and another way to actually conduct spiritual fighting of fighting back those who attack you, which is normal. That is self-defense. If you're a soldier in a war and somebody comes with a knife at you, you will defend yourself. Yeah, it's the same in spiritual fighting. If somebody continuously attacks you, of course you will defend yourself. You don't sit idle and pray. You learn how to fight, and each of us has specific weapons. As I explained, some weapons are specific to your race, and you will learn about it from your own ancestors from the same race. But also some, for example, some weapons that you hold and are able to use are gifts from the divine realm, which you received throughout your spiritual journey in different incarnations, or even just in this one. Yeah. So as you evolve and you prove yourself, and one of the criteria is for the divine realm to test you to make sure that you will use that weapon for the good, not for the bad. The divine realm will give you certain weapons which have a specific part of your history and your spiritual evolution. Like, for example, many years ago, I received the Sword of Light from Archangel Michael. And of course, I learned later on how that was connected to my spiritual evolution, in which time, and how I learned how to use it, and so on. Otherwise, when you receive the weapon from the divine realm, you will have a certain ancestor assigned to you to teach you how to use it. Yeah. But anyhow, you defend yourself. It's important to know this. You don't just sit idle and pray to be defended by spiritual realm, by the divine realm. You fight for yourself, of course. Now, many times it will happen, like it happened to me as well. Like I was defending myself with a sword of light, and I was doing very well until this individual started doing witchcraft at me. And witchcraft, you cannot defend against it with the sword of light. I mean, you can defend yourself against the individual who's casting that out at you, but in order to undo the witchcraft, you have to learn different ways to fight. And actually, when witchcraft started being done at me more heavily, it was Archangel Michael who actually told me the sword of light is not helping you now. You need to learn different ways to defend yourself. Yeah. So that literally means you evolved into a different stage of your evolution, and you are meant to learn different ways of defending yourself, of fighting. But aside from all of this, it's very diverse, of course. But aside from all of this, what God asked me to share with you today is one of the affirmations and prayers which I developed myself in my initial phase of spiritual fighting, when God was showing to me how they were harvesting energy from me and using my energy onto other people. Yeah. So God was showing to me how, especially these stupid sluts of doppelgangers would be harvesting energy from me and then using my energy to do harm on other people, basically to hypnotize them, or they were using my energy and my identity to the extent to which they could copy in order to program other people to attack me in different ways, either by slander, either by aggression, by disrespect, but sometimes even they were doing sex magic and were gang-stalking by sexual attacks or love bombing. But God was showing to me, in some cases, not in all cases, but in some cases, God was showing to me this one was ill-intended and worked with her to create this. This one was ill-intended and paid her to do this. But this one, another one, God would say, this one is innocent. He was actually tricked into believing that it is you who approached him. But in fact, it's the doppelganger who approached him with your energy, pretending she's you. And because that individual doesn't have enough knowledge to distinguish energy, they don't know. They don't know to make a distinction between a copy and an original. Yeah. And sometimes God would actually ask me, go stay next to the one who is using your energy in order to program other people. And this way they can see the difference. So I would see those people in disbelief. They were in shock. They couldn't imagine, seeing me as original, because they were under firm belief before that they were actually engaging with me in astral. And I was only going there to show, no, it's not me. This is not me. You're being tricked. This is an evil being who's doing this. So as you learn about this, you start to see things from a higher perspective. And this is very important. Why? Because this way, even when you defend and when you claim justice and judgment and punishment, then you learn to be more fair. Namely, you learn to ask specific questions in order to understand what was the situation for each case, for each individual, to what extent that individual was ill-intended, to what extent he was tricked, to what extent that individual was programmed, literally, to attack you, and he just didn't know how to protect, or it was one of the individuals from the gang stalking groups, which was partnered with the doppelganger in creating all of this havoc. Yeah, so this is very important. This is very important to understand, because you will be able to have a fair approach to every situation and to every individual, and this carries a lot of weight in your spiritual evolution, and you gain points, let's say, in your cooperation with the divine realm, because you are trustworthy, that you care for divine justice. You're not just out for revenge on everyone, but you actually care to be fair and to carry out the divine justice in each case, so this is very important. And basically what I used to say, because I was in the beginning, in the initial phases, and I didn't know what to do, and sometimes it was a gang stalking group, so there were at least 30 people attacking me at the same time. It was very difficult to actually preserve the distance and protect your energy. And for this reason, I personally invented one affirmation prayer in which I ask my ancestors, personally I ask Jesus always, and Archangel Michael, to ground my energy. And I say, please ground my energy which was stolen from me without my conscious consent, or was taken from me, or it was purchased from others who were taking it from me, or in any other circumstances that they succeeded to take my energy. Please ground it, so they will not benefit of my energy, and please destroy and nullify everything they succeeded to create with my energy. Every contract, every spiritual attack, every curse, every witchcraft that they have done, because many times, you have to know, they use your energy in order to summon spirits, because even spirits don't come to any low life. Even spirits they have their own standards. I said this in other videos. Darkness has its own standards, and darkness follows astral rules. So they use it in many different ways. God has shown this to me, and I was horrified when God was showing to me how much harm they were doing. For example, God showed me that a certain individual was harvesting energy from me during sleep time, and God showed me that individual in two different situations. God showed me once his normal level in spirituality, and he was in darkness, basically. And then in another day, God showed me he was leveling up to Archangel level in a blue aura. And I asked God, I said, did he do something in order to achieve this elevation? He said, and God said, no, he just stole energy from you. And because he's clocking in your energy, he leveled up this much. It is true, honestly, to say that God showed me that he didn't succeed to stay in that light for a long time. He fell, basically. Because, of course, it doesn't matter if you clock yourself in somebody else's energy. If you do harm, you lose that. The second when you do harm onto other, you lose that energy. Yeah, this is why they're harvesting so much energy and they're carrying out so much darkness attacks, because they lose that energy which they harvest very easily, because they do harm constantly. Yeah, it's simple. But my point being, when God showed me in how many ways they use my energy, which they were stealing from me without conscious consent, you must understand, I was shocked. So I invented this affirmation prayer in which I asked Jesus to destroy everything they created, because they create hypnosis and illusion for others with your energy. You have to know this. This is very important. For example, as long as you don't do spiritual fighting and you don't break bondage with somebody, that individual harvests energy from you just because it's considered undeserved forgiveness. even though it's unfair, and I said this to God, it is unfair because I didn't know this person did this much harm to me. So if I would have known, if you would have shown me, I would have claimed justice immediately. But I didn't know. Now I cannot walk on the street and start being suspicious at everyone. If you don't show me, how would I know? And God explained to me, yes, we have a specific time when we decide to actually reveal and expose everything. And I explained in other video, it's a divine timing when you are prepared from energetic perspective to uphold and work with your energy and defend yourself, because once you learn, attacks start much stronger at you. So that is one consideration. Another consideration is a broader image of what is going on at the time, where you are. If you are, for example, God has shown me you were in very close proximity working in the same department with one of the greatest enemies that was hunting you to kill you. So we couldn't show you then because we couldn't count on you to keep sort of like a straight face and not to expose the fact that you know. So it was too dangerous for you. We waited until you left the country in order to expose to you what that individual has done to you. So you can actually learn to elevate before you face that individual again. Anyhow, there are many situations. The point is what you need to know. If you do not carry out spiritual fighting to break bondage, everyone who created bondages on you in any lifetime, in any embodiment, in any timeline, feeds on your energy, harvests energy from you. You have to imagine that individual is doing something with that energy. Is not just enjoying it like a cookie. They are doing something. This is why they harvest energy, in order to be able to do harm onto others without being detected, because they cloak yourself in your energy. What does it mean, your energy? If you're a pure person, you have an energy which actually holds a number of qualities. You carry persuasion. You have the energy of being trustworthy. People tend to believe you because you have a pure energy and you inspire people and you inspire trust. And they use all of these qualities to mask themselves in order to do harm on people. Yeah. So at some point, you will see this. God will show you this, and as God shows you this, you must understand that you bear the responsibility of what is being done with your energy. This is why the call for justice and judgment and punishment, it says at some point to judge and punish for the harm facilitated on you and others. Sitting idle, not caring what kind of harm is being done with energy harvested from you, that is facilitating harm onto others. The moment when you become conscious and God shows you this, even if God brings you to my video to watch this video and learn from me this information, you already become responsible for what you do next. Because you should, you should claim justice, judgment, and punishment, ask divine guidance to learn what is being done on you and with your energy, and then you should start fighting. Because otherwise, it is your energy. You are responsible for it. You're responsible to fight. Now the divine realm will help you, but you are responsible to carry out the fight and to feel the responsibility of what is being done in your name, what is being done with your energy. You must understand it's bondage for which they transfer karma to you. It becomes your responsibility. If they go kill a person and they use your identity while they do this, they transfer karma to you. Namely, in astral, you will be held responsible for this. You will serve karma for this. So you must understand that this is not really a joke. This is really serious. And this is why we came here on assignment to break these bondages. So ideally, everybody takes this seriously and understands that what is being done with your energy literally becomes your responsibility. Now, if you claim justice, judgment, and punishment, God shows it was not him who killed, it was somebody else. Yeah, but you have to claim justice, judgment, and punishment. This is why God taught me and asked me to share with everybody. You must claim justice, judgment, and punishment, because this is the only way how you can expose things which were done in your name with your energy, although you had no clue of what was going on. Yeah, so this is very important. And again, going back to the message which God asked me to share, is precisely this one. My affirmation and prayer, and I still do this to this day. If I notice that there's been harvesting done on me, and I cannot stop that attack, because sometimes it's done with technology. And it's very hard to stop attack done with technology on you. You can go in hermit mode, you can withdraw the light body and try to minimize the impact of energy harvesting or energy or damage on your energy. But it's a technology. So even to this day, when I know that harvesting has been done on me, or during sleep time, when you're asleep, sometimes it's impossible for you to protect. I say this affirmation and prayer, basically where I ask Jesus and Archangel Michael to destroy everything that was created through my energy, by use of my energy, which has been taken from me, either unbeknownst to me or because I couldn't stop the attack, basically. Sometimes, let me say this, sometimes they only provoke you to get you angry, so they will keep attacking you. Like today, for example, one of the stupid doppelgangers has been attacking me constantly for 4 hours because she's hysterical, because she's losing. So she's being exposed. So 4 hours in order to get you angry. And if you get angry even a little bit, that is already energy which they harvest. Yeah. Now you tend to get angry a little bit more during each and every day of your life, because there are many situations in which you can be triggered by different circumstances. So you must understand that to some extent they will get to harvest energy up until you succeed to level up this much that they cannot approach you, or up until you get to relocate, in my case, because here I'm just surrounded by them. So obviously I need to relocate in order to get rid of them for good. And for these situations, this is very important, because they also can use your energy in order to attack you. So it's not only that you're protecting others, but you're protecting yourself in many ways, that you do not become responsible for illegal acts they do, but also because they need your energy in order to be able to reach to you. Because if they will stay in their energy, they will be below below ground level. But this is why they harvest energy, so they can do the harm and to eventually transfer karma, or to just cloak themselves so they won't be exposed. And if they carry the energy of somebody very pure, even if they are exposed and judged, they can do glamour magic, they can do love bombing, they can do telepathy, artificial telepathy, a lot of attacks basically in order to get away. I have seen many of them actually succeeding to trick experienced individuals in law enforcement and in justice system, to trick them into feeling sorry for them, into feeling pity for them, into thinking that, oh, it's not such a big deal. So it's also a sort of a hypnosis, mentalism kind of programming. Anyhow, so the message was this, namely that I ask that everything that was done with my energy taken from me, regardless how that was taken, because during sleep time you don't know how they took energy from you. You know, sometimes if you give undeserved forgiveness, they get your energy constantly. For this, it doesn't apply that they stole the energy, because it's considered that you gave it with a free will, since you gave undeserved forgiveness. So this is why you have to word this in a more encompassing way for all situations, where you say, regardless how they took the energy from me, even if it was stolen, if it was taken because of your own mistake of giving undeserved forgiveness or something like this. But in any case, sometimes you can add everything that was built with my energy, which is not divine will. It's not according to God's will, or it's not according to God's will for me, or it's not according to God's will for the humankind, depending on whatever type of individuals you encounter, yeah? Okay, so I help individuals. This will definitely help you during very strong attacks, when you feel like you cannot counter everybody who's targeting you at that point in time. And it is important because they don't get to cloak in your energy, they don't get to attack you with your own energy. Also, I will say one more thing and then I close, because if they attack you with your energy, they can do incantation with your energy. If it's so, it's much more difficult for you to distinguish their attack. Why? Because incantation as well as levitation is just a whisper in your mid-ear tympan, yeah, which you only can observe it on a subconscious level, or if you have a very, very high energy awareness, yeah, you can distinguish. If you can read energy, you can distinguish the levitation and the incantation. But if it's with your energy, it's more difficult for you to distinguish it, because it feels like it's your own thought, you see, because it's your energy. So all attacks carried with your energy are more difficult for you to counter them and distinguish, because somebody got very angry and I believe it's the doppelganger who has been attacking me for the last 4 hours relentlessly. So it's much more difficult to distinguish when somebody attacks you with your own energy, yeah, because it's your own energy, so you don't feel a different energy in when that comes to you, yeah. So for this reason, it's very important to use this affirmation. Now, of course, you're very welcome to expand on it if you have additional ideas, and you are welcome to share it with all of us if you find a new way. But for some people that are watching my videos, for sure this is important, because God asked me specifically to make a video this morning, actually, when I was using this prayer and affirmation, because there were a lot of attacks on me these last few days. So in the morning I was doing these affirmations and prayer to nullify everything that was created with my energy. And God said to me, then you should make a video and share this with people. Now, before I close up, I ask you to go read my prophetic writings, because all of this information I wrote in my prophetic writings in the beginning of my spiritual fighting, when I was discovering all of this. Now, because I'm in much more advanced phase of my spiritual fighting, I don't remember to share with you exact same information, but I'm sharing what I'm discovering in current moment, yeah. Okay, so please read the prophetic writings, because there I was much more detailed in giving different type of weapons, particularly in terms of affirmation and so on and so forth, yeah. Okay.